I will say it's very easy to speak truth from this podium when you have a president who is implementing policies that are wildly popular with the American people, and that's exactly what this administration is doing. It's correcting the lies and the wrongs of the past 4 years, many of the lies that have been told to your faces in this very briefing room. I will not do that.
Behar just went too far, and this time there's no turning back. In a recent episode of The View, Joy Behar made a comment that left the audience shocked. Many people are calling it sexist and saying it goes against the very values she claims to support.
More funding for illegal DEI programs. It means no more funding for transgenderism and wokeness.
And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not.
Today was the first press conference for Donald Trump's press secretary, Karoline Leavitt. And if you assumed she was a pretty white lady with a noticeable cross necklace, you were right. And of course she was Trump's press secretary during the campaign, but that was all about trashing Joe Biden. Now she's in an elevated position representing the White House, and she's here to talk about what the administration is going to do moving forward.
When Joe Biden was in the Oval Office, or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure.
Oh, shit!
Talking about Karoline Leavitt, Donald Trump's 27-year-old press secretary, Behar claimed she was only hired because of her looks. She said, "I think she's probably there because in Trump's eyes, she's a 10.
I'm so sick and tired of the media pointing the finger at Donald Trump and saying that he is sowing division in this country. He is not. The media is for pushing hoaxes like the one that you all pushed today, and the Democrat Party is for pushing lies about him. But the good news is Americans don't buy it.
Of the 3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office, can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
The comment instantly sparked backlash, not just from conservatives, but from people of all political views. Many called it hypocritical and disrespectful, especially since it came from someone who often talks about feminism and supporting women in leadership. Behar's remark wasn't just an insult to Leavitt. It was an insult to every woman who has worked hard to succeed in politics, business, or any other field.
Echoed the sentiment that President Trump is a democracy. And if you're a deranged lunatic and you're mentally ill, you will believe that lie, and yes, you will take political.
People were quick to point out the double standard. How can someone who claims to support women's rights reduce a skilled political strategist to just her looks? Social media was flooded with criticism, with one user perfectly summing it up. Joy Behar is accusing Karoline Leavitt of being hired for her appearance. Isn't that the exact kind of sexism The View claims to stand against?
Commentator said, Whoopi is mansplaining the press secretary job to Karoline Leavitt. Hilarious.
Karoline Leavitt wasn't going to stay silent. Instead of ignoring the comment or giving a mild response, she fired back and called out The View for its hypocrisy. She didn't just defend herself, she exposed the double standards, making it clear that Joy Behar's remark was completely out of line.
He sat through a courthouse for 7 weeks this past year, and the Democrats were hoping he would go to jail for it. That is real political that has led to 2 heinous attempts on President Trump's life that, by the grace of God, he was able to escape, and he is here with us today. So yes, President Trump knows a little bit about political because he's experienced it.
And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Mm-hmm. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason, because Black people couldn't get into colleges.
With confidence and a strong grasp of the facts, Karoline Leavitt didn't just respond to the insult. She completely tore it apart. She made it clear that women in politics, no matter their political beliefs, shouldn't be judged just by their looks. And The View can't claim to support women while also putting them down. Leavitt didn't stop there. She brought up how Democrats have spent years labeling President Trump as a threat to democracy, but she didn't just defend Trump. she pointed out a much bigger issue: how media rhetoric has created hostility toward conservatives and even contributed to 2 attempts on Trump's life. Her response wasn't just about clearing the air. It was a challenge to The View's narrative. She exposed how the show often uses personal attacks instead of focusing on real issues. By the time she was done, the whole tone in the room changed. Joy Behar seemed uncomfortable and even Whoopi. Goldberg didn't know how to respond. Things got even tenser when Whoopi tried to change the topic. However, her attempt backfired as Leavitt kept pushing the conversation about media lies. Leavitt wasn't going to let Whoopi take control of the conversation. No, please, she firmly interrupted. Let's stay on topic. She pushed ahead, stressing how all the constant attacks on Trump have empowered extremists and led to real-world harm. It was clear this wasn't just a debate. It was about showing how media personalities twist discussions to fit their own views. Leavitt's refusal to let Whoopi change the subject was both bold and effective. She didn't back down or let distractions take over. Instead, Whoopi's attempt to silence her only made Leavitt's point stronger. Viewers noticed, and social media went wild with praise, calling it one of the most powerful moments in political debates. But Leavitt wasn't done exposing The View's hypocrisy. She didn't just defend herself, she called out the show's double standards on women. One of the biggest moments came when she pointed out how The View claims to support feminism, until a conservative woman speaks up. She said, "They love to talk about empowering women, but the moment a woman disagrees with their politics, they tear her down in the exact way they claim to oppose." That wasn't just a casual comment. It was a direct shot at The View. The View has a history of dismissing conservative women like Kayleigh McEnany and Sarah Huckabee Sanders. By calling out this double standard, Leavitt made people question whether the show truly supports women or just those who share their political views. Then, Whoopi Goldberg got upset and went on a rant about wokeness. She didn't just get mad, she lost control of the whole discussion. Goldberg brought up a past comment from Leavitt about no wokeness here and started talking about how wokeness is pushing society forward. However, she ignored how wokeness has also become a dividing force, pushing people apart instead of bringing them together. Instead of having a real conversation about what wokeness means today, Goldberg spoke down to Leavitt, like she didn't understand history or social progress. The irony is that by doing this, Goldberg showed exactly why so many criticize wokeness. It often feels elitist and dismissive. This wasn't just a heated argument. The backlash against The View grew fast. The show didn't just face criticism, they faced widespread embarrassment. Clips of Joy Behar's comment and Leavitt's strong response quickly spread on social media, with viewers from both political sides calling out the show's hypocrisy. Even people who disagreed with Leavitt politically admitted that Behar's comment was wrong, and that Leavitt handled the situation with grace. The backlash didn't just stay on social media, it spread to mainstream news. Several outlets reported on the controversy, pointing out the growing credibility issues The View was facing. Behind the scenes at ABC, things were even messier. Sources revealed that network executives were caught off guard by the backlash and were frustrated with Joy Behar's constant controversies. Some even suggested Behar might be in trouble. While The View has always sparked debates, there's a difference between having a debate and turning viewers away. This time, they might have gone too far. This situation also highlights a bigger issue in today's media. It's not just about one episode, it's about changing public perceptions and the increasing call for accountability. What made this situation stand out was the huge amount of support Leavitt got, even from people who didn't share her political views. Social media was full of comments from people who disagreed with Karoline Leavitt, but respected how she handled herself during the heated argument. Many pointed out that Joy Behar's remarks weren't just disrespectful to Leavitt, but to all women who have worked hard to succeed. This caused frustration from people across the political spectrum, highlighting the growing frustration with shows like The View, which claim to support women's empowerment but often don't show the same support to conservative women. Even some liberal commentators called out Behar, saying that even if you disagree with Leavitt, reducing her achievements to her looks is disgusting. But this wasn't just a win for Leavitt. It was a wake-up call for viewers who were tired of the double standards in the media. As public support for Leavitt grew, ABC executives were reportedly scrambling behind the scenes. Insiders said the backlash took them completely by surprise, and they were growing frustrated with Behar's constant controversies. Some even said executives were beginning to wonder if keeping Behar on the show was worth the ongoing PR headaches. While controversy has always been a part of The View's brand, there's a difference between sparking debate and pushing away viewers, and this time they might have gone too far. Ratings for the show have been slipping, and incidents like this only make the situation worse. Advertisers are reportedly becoming uneasy, questioning whether The View is still a trustworthy platform for their brands. An insider said that executives are tired of dealing with these controversies and are considering whether a big change is needed. Does this mean Joy Behar's time on the show is coming to an end? But this isn't just about one host. It's part of a larger issue. This controversy reflects how conservative women are often treated in the media. From Kayleigh McEnany to Sarah Huckabee Sanders, conservative women have been dismissed, insulted, or discredited just because of their beliefs. While shows like The View say they support women's empowerment, they often don't extend that support to women who don't share their political views. Instead of debating their points, they resort to personal attacks. This double standard not only affects individuals, but also goes against the very principles of feminism and equality they claim to stand for. The backlash shows that audiences are noticing this hypocrisy and are speaking out. Karoline Leavitt didn't just defend herself. She exposed The View's bias and turned their attack into a conversation about media fairness. With ABC scrambling for damage control and viewers demanding accountability, it's unclear whether The View will change its ways or continue down this path. One thing is clear, Karoline Leavitt came out stronger, and The View may never fully recover from this. If you liked this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more updates. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.